I can't believe that I'm actually going live right now because I've not prepared anything. I haven't rehearsed this. I've never done this, but I figured, what the hell? There's only one way to figure out if this is going to be any good, and that is just to go live and let the chips fall where they may. So, friends, today I'm going to do a live tarot reading from the Joe Blow Tarot deck. A little product placement for you there. Check us out, joeblowtarot.com. The Joe Blow Tarot deck is going to give us an insight into what is happening in the land of the free, home of the brave, and a hell of a lot of Waffle House. Not nearly enough, though, frankly. You ever been to a place where there's not a Waffle House? I think you and I can both admit there's not nearly enough. So we're going to do a reading today, and here's how it's going to break down. We're going to do one card from the Big Stuff deck. So that's 20 cards. We're just going to choose one randomly, and that is going to tell us what the major theme is going to be in our country this week. Like, what is the major theme going on? And then from there, we're going to choose 3 cards. Edward Scissorhands situation here. We're going to choose 3 cards from the other stuff. And there's a lot of other things going on. We got judgment cards. We got mirror cards. A lot of them involve your in-laws that are also in the deck. So we're going to see what the sub-themes are from our major themes. So without further ado, because I don't want to be one of these people who's just rambling on and nobody's watching anyway. And that's the fun about being live without putting an event out there. There's nobody's watching. Nobody gives a shit. You could just kind of roll with it and just have some fun. But you might be watching it on a replay later, which means I'm really putting a lot of rope out there to hang myself. But let's just have some fun, shall we? Okay. So we're going to start out with the Big Stuff from the Big Stuff deck. And just to show you that I'm not rigging the deck, I am not going to be looking at it. I'm going to be looking right at you, and you'll be looking right into my beautiful brown eyes. I'm not trying to flirt with you. Don't call the cops. You can call the cops, but, you know, I got a warrant. So, you know. Okay. So I'm going to do a little shuffling here. What is the major theme for America this week? Ooh, the Kale Smoothie Mafia. Okay. So put this right up here for you. I can't even talk today. The Kale Smoothie Mafia card. So what does that mean? The Kale Smoothie Mafia card is an indication of peer pressure. It's got a lot of people doing something. And those lot of people have just made my camera fuzzy because I put the card too damn close to the camera. So now it's recalibrating. But hey, so much the better. The crow's feet are gone. You can't even see them. I'm 10 years younger because of this camera. So thank you, Kale Smoothie Mafia. Love you. Love to the family. So the Kale Smoothie Mafia card is the peer pressure card. Because you know this, everybody knows somebody in the Kale Smoothie Mafia. These are the people that tell you this is what you have to eat. This is how you have to think. This is what you have to believe. This is what you have to wear. This is the kind of glue you have to sniff. I would recommend Elmer's. That's what you're into. I'm just saying. It's not the worst thing. Did it when I was 11. Look how well I turned out. So the Kale Smoothie Mafia card is the big theme for America this week, which means thematically, we are falling under a lot of peer pressure among ourselves. We have a lot of people telling us what we should think, what we should believe, what we should do, where we should go, what we should eat, what we should drink. And we're kind of falling into it. I think this is a commentary on social media more than anything else. And just news media generally. It's kind of telling us who we are and what we are supposed to be. But are we? That's our choice. Now we're going to go to 3 cards to see what are the sub-themes within that. So we're going to have other deck over here, all this random crap, and we're going to do a little bit of shuffling once again while I'm just trying to kill the dead air and looking at you with the eyes and trying to, again, weirdly flirt with you. And I don't think it's working because I haven't had anybody in the comments tell me they want to take me out for a cup of coffee. So maybe I got to work on my flirting game, and I think that's a whole thing. Maybe that'll be in the cards. I don't know. Maybe the cards will tell us that we need to really up our flirting games in America. I don't think that's the case, though. Do you? Yeah, I do. I definitely do. I really believe we got to work on that. Okay. So the first sub-theme card is going to be, my personal favorite, Florida Man. Okay. So the Florida Man card is the essence of, I mean, just look at this. Look at this right here. Look at this. Okay. Florida Man, first of all, great ass. I think between you and me and the wall. And by the way, as I said that, the live stream hit 444. The angels agree. Florida Man has a fantastic ass. The Florida Man card, ladies and gentlemen, and everybody else, is an indication that you need to lean into your crazy. We all need to lean into our crazy. You look at Florida man staring out in the distance. There's a Category 5 hurricane that is barreling down on the shore. There's an alligator probably 10 feet away. There's 24 snakes that are just slithering around. And there's God knows what else on the other side of the tracks. We know what lives on the other side of the tracks in Florida. And let me tell you something. I don't need to tell you anything. You've been to Florida, you know. But Florida man is an indication that we can stare into the storm and still hold our ground in our crazy, to let our freak flag fly and to lean in to all the madness that is Florida man. So we have the major theme of the Kale Smoothie Mafia, which is peer pressure. And we have the sub theme of Florida man, which tells us that we don't have to listen to this peer pressure. Fellow Americans, we don't have to listen. We can be Florida man. Okay, now what is the second leg on this sub journey we have from the Kale Smoothie Mafia? Going to do a little shuffle again. Once again, going to give you a little something over here and just be creepy as I possibly can be, because I got nothing else going on over here. What do we, I mean, seriously, what are we going to do while I'm shuffling a deck? I got two hands that are occupied. What do we do? I'm going to show you CPAP water. That's okay. Look at that. Very exciting, friends. We have CPAP water. This is great. All right. What does the CPAP water card tell us? Don't have sleep apnea? Okay, good enough. Understood, angels. I'm listening to you. All right. This is great. Okay. Second card that we have within the subgenre. The boomer who can't turn on a computer. This is one of my favorite in the entire deck. It really is. What does this card tell us? The boomer who can't turn on a computer. So this is the card. If you draw this card, which I did, so I'm not talking theoretically, drew the card. Here we are. The boomer who can't turn on a computer is the card of obsolescence. Is the card of, are you even still a part of the world you think you're living in anymore? Or has time just straight up passed you by? Because we all know the boomer who can't turn on a computer, and we all know the daughter or the son or the niece or the nephew who has been harassed to turn on the damn computer on behalf of the boomer many, many, many times for free. And the boomer who can't turn on a computer card, what it's really trying to get us to look at is, how presently are we living, or are we still living in the past? Has time totally passed us by, or have we grounded ourselves in the passage of time, in the free flowing, in the river of the Tao? Have we allowed ourselves to swim in it, kind of like that sewage in the Mississippi River? We're not going to talk about that, but here we are. We already talked about it, so my bad. This is the card that is imploring us to take a look at where we are in our lives, and are we hanging on to the past? Are we stuck in what was, or are we leaning into what is? So if you start looking at the Kale Smoothie Mafia, this is the peer pressure. This is telling us who we need to be. And Florida man saying, screw you, I'm going to be whoever I want to be. Look at that Category 5 hurricane. You got nothing on Florida, man. So when you stand in that crazy in the face of the peer pressure, you also got to ask yourself, are you being pressured to be something you're not in an era which no longer serves you, which doesn't resonate with you? Or are you gracefully flowing in to what is? Are you? I don't know. I don't know you. I don't know you. This is a good question. So I'm just asking. I'm just putting it out there. I'm just putting it out there. And the third card that is going to indicate America's path this week, as we take a look at who we are and where we've been and what we want on this beautiful post-Memorial Day weekend, when people are finally getting back to work. And I say getting back to work, but nobody's working any day. I mean, who's working anymore? Seriously. I mean, people are showing up. Who's actually working? Nobody's working. Okay. Card we have here is, perfect. The Arthritic Metalhead. To once again lean in, and this card is kind of like a cousin of the boomer who can't turn on a computer card. The Arthritic Metalhead is about leaning in to your vibrancy and your vitality despite your age. Now, the Arthritic Metalhead is exactly what the card says. I mean, look at this guy. You know, he started rocking on that damn guitar and stepping on that stereo back in 1987. You know, that speaker was there since the very beginning. That speaker was there since people were holding up boom boxes trying to serenade people in movies. And then people started copycatting it in real life in the suburbs, and it didn't work out too well, because then the cops actually were called, because that legitimately was creepy. And I would not recommend doing that. There's restraining orders that followed. Mine is due to expire next week. I'm very excited about that. But the Arthritic Metalhead is a great card, because this is a card that once again brings us back to our own vibrancy and vitality, and says that it doesn't matter how much time has elapsed, we can still step back in to that which made us feel alive, to that which lit up our souls like a 5-alarm fire through Chicago back in the day that was started in a barn, which I learned on a river tour, but it may not have been started on a barn. It was some reporter who said I needed a story, so I'm just going to make it up. They made it up, and who the hell knows how it started. If anybody was there, 1800s, Chicago, let me know in the comments. Okay, so this is our reading, folks. We're going to go back to the beginning here. We have the kale smoothie. Once more from the top. I could do this in Portuguese too if English isn't working, which doesn't seem like it is. The Kale Smoothie Mafia card. Friends, this is the card that says we are collectively pressuring each other to be a certain way, to think certain things, to be a person that we may not want to be, but we feel this collective push towards something that may not be resonant with us. So this card, first and foremost, is a big theme, but it's an invitation to look inside and ask ourselves, is this who we want to be? Is this what we want to do? Is the thing I'm even saying even a thought of my own? Or does some jagoff over here holding a kale smoothie tell me that this is what I'm supposed to be thinking? It's a good question to ask. And as we ask that question, we need to channel our inner Florida man to stand there in our crazy naked ass and say, I'm going to do me. That's it. Simple as that. From the energy of I'm going to do me, what does that mean for the boomer who can't turn on a computer? You may not be as tech savvy as those who are coming in front of you or behind you. That's what she said. So you may not, that's okay. That's okay. Because what this is imploring you to do is realize you are also the boomer, and you are also the millennial, and you are also the Xer, and you are also the Gen Z, and you are also the Gen Alpha, and you are also the Gen whatever the hell is being sprouted out right now. You're all of it. You're all of it. You flow with the river. You flow with the river of life. So you are ultimately being pressured to be something you're not, but you're standing in your Florida man as an individual and as a country and saying, bring it, bring it. I'm just going to be me. And I'm going to be me because I allow the river of time to take me where it will take me. And if that means you're going to be a great adopter of technology and AI, awesome. And if it means you won't, awesome. But you're going to stand in your Florida man power anyway. You're not going to let that kale smoothie individual muscle you in to being something that you're not and embracing something that may not be right for you. If the sands of time are shifting in a way that work for you, then great, lean into it. Be the damn boomer who finally gets on Facebook in 2018 and thinks it's the greatest thing ever and just starts posting political shit nonstop. That can be you. That can be you. And as you step into that, my friends, channel your inner arthritic metalhead, because it is the inner arthritic metalhead that says, no matter what I choose, no matter what I love, no matter what I'm going to do, no matter what technology I'm going to adopt, no matter what belief I'm going to roll around in, damn it, I'm going to do it with vibrancy, and I'm going to do it with life, and I'm going to do it with vitality, because I'm still rocking at my age. Doesn't matter how many mosh pits cracked my ribs back in the day and how many years or decades it took to heal that. Doesn't matter what kind of gout I've got flaring up in my foot. And, you know, nobody in 1987 thought they were going to have gout. That's something you point at and laugh. And then one happened, you know, 30 years later, you got gout. You just got gout. That's just how it works. Doesn't matter if you got the gout or the arthritis, whatever else is going on, you channel that arthritic metalhead to step into it with that, once again, that vibrancy and that life and that juice. That's a past tense use of juice. This is what happens when you go live with nothing prepared. The words just come out in whichever way they want to come out. So once more from the top, we have the Kale Smoothie Mafia. Friends, do not let anybody bully you into being something that you are not. If you want a kale smoothie, great. Get a kale smoothie because you want a kale smoothie, not because some influencer wearing a turtleneck wants you to have a kale smoothie. Or do it. What do I give a shit? Knock yourself out. Florida man is the essence of that. What do I give a shit? Knock yourself out. The boomer who can't turn on a computer, America, step into technology as you see fit in your heart, and only in your heart. And make sure that heart gives out on stage during a live performance, because, hey, that's how they would have wanted us to go. All right. Until next week, friends, love y'all.